This is episode 200. 200. I'm sure I will be rounding further bases in the future because I have no intention of quitting doing this. We have not raised any objections so far that I feel should be sustained. So, welcome to episode 200. I'm sitting here, and I've been thinking a lot about this episode, what I should do, if it should be any kind of a milestone at all. You know, I mean, but I do feel it. Certainly, I do feel it. And the only thing I can do is really thank all of you very much. From our brother and sister stations out there, who are kind of loosely affiliated with us, at least extend friendship to us. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Thank you. So that said, let's get to toys. I did want to comment that I did a review of the movie, and I have had in that time several people tell me that I need to read year one. So I am going to read year one, and then by the time I'm kind of finished consuming this, I assume I will then have a home copy of the Batman to kind of look at and reevaluate. Like I said to all who have been watching this station for 200 episodes, when I view a film, before I review it, I want to see it, probably a good 3 or 4 times under different circumstance, if that's possible, but here in my home theater, if that's the way it's got to be. And more, I am liking the option of staying home and watching these films in my own environment. I have my 5.1, my archaic 5.1 sound system tweaked out the way I like it. It's the way, and if it isn't, then I will tune it to watch a movie. I've done that before. I don't like the theater experience. Our local theater, which we love, the Independent Cinema, they're wonderful. They're really wonderful. But like everybody, like everything, because of the war going on in the world and other things, our prices are going up. All the toys, everything across the board made of plastic is absolutely it's $2 more expensive at all of your box stores here in America. Okay, that's what we're experiencing as collectors and fans, and I think that $2 on a product is it's a make or break for gut grabs and stuff off the pegs. Luckily, we have not seen any change to die-cast in terms of the smaller, the dollar sets, the main lines. Main lines are still staying at 94 cents to 99 cents, depending on where you buy them, which is cool. One of my other hobbies, which is to build Gundam models and stuff like that, those prices have gone up, but ironically, they have also materialized in box stores now in proliferation, which allows them to be, we'll call it competitively priced. But it's getting expensive out there. And so when I consider going to see a film, back to the original topic, some of you know how my brain works, how my writing works. I do these ellipses, and we get back around to the topic eventually. I feel like maybe I didn't give the Batman a fair shake. I was expecting something far different, and so my expectation was placed on the film, that was my mistake. Okay. And I've heard a lot of, just as an extension, and this is just to get under Andre's skin a little bit too, I have heard from a lot of online sources that the Halo series just sucks. I've heard a lot from people who play the games, and I'm trying not to let that curb me from indulging in that series when I can get it available to me with an open mind. But one thing I would encourage for everyone out there is every time one of these things is presented, Freudian slip, prevented, every time somebody does a Batman film, every time somebody does the Green Lantern, every time somebody does an entry in the voluminous Saw system, which I just bought, I bought all the 7 movies or something like that for $5. Wait it out. You can find things online, and you can find them for real cheap. I wanted to put these in my collection because I do feel that on a certain level, some of them are fairly clever. I don't like the Saw series. I think probably by the second film, I had realized that it was just utterly stupid, you know. And that's what happens when you take somebody's brilliant small vision of that first sort of trailer, that short film that was made of Saw, you know, the woman waking up in the headgear. That was brilliant. You know, the Blair Witch thing leading up to it was some brilliant play, you know. But anyway, what I would say, everybody has a different vision. Frank Miller had a vision, and whoever it was that finally directed the Batman, God, I should know this by now. But you know, I think he had a vision, and so when you see somebody making multiples of things, whether it's in films, here's all the first 3 Puppet Master movies. I love Full Moon. Be ready for change. Be ready for change. I believe that, you know, I'm a little bit of an observer of Japanese culture, and I think that one of the things I really admire in Asian philosophies on life entirely, you know, I mean, it seems to be something that kind of strings together through the entire part of the world, is that everything changes. Be ready for change. Be accepting of change. Adapt things that you like. Discard things that don't necessarily work for you. I just think it's a brilliant way to go about things. Back to toys. I did, in the last couple of episodes, I told you the Great Holly Fight, and I think that there is a competition for the secondary market on some of these things that is really starting to get vicious, at least here. I don't know about you. I don't know about your area, but when something kind of cool like this comes out, you know, people are jumping all over it. I don't know let's find out what the big deal is. It's open for some too. That old boy wanted to steal from me. He was mad. Big mad. Maybe he had one when he was a tyke. But anyway, there it is. Let me try to get the focus happening on this instead of my face. I really love Studebaker. It may be because of the association with Fozzie Bear and the Muppet movie. But I've always felt, like a bear is in his environment when he's in a Studebaker. So anyway, that is a 1950 Studebaker 2R truck with the Holly livery. And like I said, I'm only kind of picking up things which I feel are finished. I feel like the M2 stuff is increasingly where my interests end up. Another one that we are going to add to our collection today is this Firebird. My wife brought this home, and I wasn't necessarily looking for it, but it does look great, and the front end and the back end are finished. So this is one that I'm going to look at. It's out of the Dream Garage. It's a 1970 Pontiac Firebird. But this is what I'm looking for when I'm looking at cars for my Big Ten, for the year. I'm going to set aside the diecast that I feel is outstanding, and this Firebird, it may be in there. I think taking this out of the package, which we will do right now, taking it out of the package, which we will do, you get a better look at things, and I like doing this too, just trashing packaging for toys. Looking at this Pontiac, it's got some great side decal work, which is actually very precision, the vent stamps could have been a little better, but this is what I would call an absolute in the run car. The biggest problem I can see, let me show it to you, is the top edge of the cockpit right there. You can see that the paint is blobby and uneven. Shame, because that's a nice looking car. And it is very distinctive. It is very different than some of the other stuff that Hot Wheels has been issuing. So I like the different stuff. I do. And like I said, that's what I'm going to be focusing on this year. I do not know if this G-Case Batmobile, excuse me, just went to Tahiti for a minute. I do not know if this Batmobile is any different than the other ones that I have. I'm really going to need to take a look. But I do like the interior and etc. on this one. So I'm going to keep that in the package for right now. Just for right now. But I am going to add this blue Baja Bone Shaker to my collection. This is the Bone Shakers are my jam. They really are. I like getting in there with the skull on the front. Always the skull. But when I look at these, because Chris Sheets made a custom Baja for me. He Mad Maxed it, and it's sitting over here on my desk. It is never going in a case. It is just going to sit on my desk somewhere in prominence, right next to some of Andre's customs and one of Naz's customs that I have via Andre. And the Baja Bone Shaker is really cool. I love the gold rims on this. Again, it is sort of you don't need a front end finish on these. They're fantasy cars. This is not going to be one of the ones that goes for best of show this year, but it is one that I like. I like it. So I'm going to put it in the case. I went through my case yesterday because we had one of my grandsons here early in the morning. I went through my cases and pulled a bunch of stuff out that I just know I'm not going to save. It's silly stuff that I pulled out for the show and did my, fast motion prestidigitation and produced the car and all that silly video shit. You can go back and see that. It's in the past 200 episodes. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of my life online. I went through and cleaned all of my cases out because, again, I'm only going to be adding cars that I really like and that I think are finished. I do like the Big Air Bellairs, and this particular livery is really hot. The red and the black, that's really cool. I really like the sticker work on it. Let me see if I can get this to focus a little bit. Maybe not. But the red interior, and then along with the red piping on the top and on the hood and etc. That's hot. The lightning bolts on the hood. That's spectacular on this particular one. Normally, the Big Air Bellairs do not join my ranks, but this one may. And it's hard to say that this isn't in the running. They don't really have a finish on the tail lighting and stuff. That should just eliminate it right there for me. And it will. If you don't have finish on your product, then I don't want it in my pack. And speaking of stuff I really like, if you didn't get a copy of the Cosworth, the black Cosworth that came out, that was a great car. Really, really great. This blue livery came out. I do like the Hot Wheels and stuff on the black. Looked fantastic. We're going to take a look at this one here. On the black version of this, those Mattel logos and stuff, they really stand out. And I don't know on the blue, it's not as striking. But this is one that will just end up in the kids' car basket because I like it and I wanted to open one on the channel and sort of take a look at what it looked like for you. I do like the decal work on the sides of the car. They're really getting that right. If they could just get around to somebody doing the lights, pull one of the new kids in with a paintbrush or the water slides and show them how to do it and get it done, you cranks. I'm using a lot of words here that nobody will understand. I don't think prank is an actual swear word, but I might have said something awful in somebody's language. Comment below. The lay and Lowrider. The lay and Lowrider is pretty cool, and I do have a sort of a running set of Lowriders and stuff in my cases. what I'm really going to need to do, in addition to all of the other garbage that is piling up around me in the lab to get done, what I really need to do is go through my cases, which are the the creative options cases. You can get them at we often buy them at the Hobbit Lobster, and it's because they have the best prices on them. They used to be $9, now they're $9.99 here in Oregon. But I do like the lowriders. I do appreciate lowrider culture. Up in Smoke came into my life very early on for obvious reasons. And so War's song, Lowrider, which I cannot use here because then they'll strike me, was and still is one of those classic car anthems, man. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it out. No, not what you think. More like this Honda City Turbo.
Ah,
it's cute. I like this color, and I did take a picture, and I meant to put up an opposite of it of the green version that came out in the earlier cases. I didn't like the green, but I do like this blue. It's a cute little ride, and if you've been watching our show for 200 episodes now, first of all, you need some therapy. Secondly, you will know that I love go-kart cars. I feel like these cars, taking one of these and making it as fast as you can to hit corners and to party on a little track is more fun to me than getting in a supercar and hitting Daytona or something, and walling at 200 miles an hour. That's not something that necessarily impresses me all that much. If you can get a golf cart, to clear its greatest speed, that was always the fun that I found in games like Gran Turismo. And my roommate, he always liked driving the bigger cars, the more fun stuff. And he would have me do the off-road stuff, and he would have me do the go-kart cars because he just hated them. But for me, that's where it's at. It's why I liked stock car racing so much. Everybody's kind of given the same materials, and it's how you put them together for the guy who's in the car and the crew that's in the pit. It's how you make all of that work fastest that matters. That's the coolness of stock cars. She also, my wife, brought home this 56 Chevy, which they earlier in the year, let's see, this was oh no, these are international cards, so I can't really tell you. This is out of the G case, but the 57 came out earlier in the year, which I really like. That's got some really neat lines on it, and I have one of those in my collection already. So we're gonna probably throw the 57 in the good boy basket. But this is a 55, and it's set lower to the ground, and I just absolutely love the paint job. So I love my wife. She brings home the coolest stuff, and she's getting so good at it, it's scary. And she works with an ethic. There is an ethic to her hunting that things need to cost a certain level and stuff like that. I need to get another Annie's Corner on where she does a little talking. She hates to talk, but I'm gonna get her to talk. This car may wind up sitting out for my best of the year. It's unfortunate that they couldn't necessarily do anything with the taillight section, but I understand that given the paint job. Okay. If they could have maybe just done a little bit on the trunk, that would have been nice. But the front end on this car is so sexy. I mean, so sexy. And all of it, the lines on the side and everything else are just absolutely gorgeous. So that, again, that may sit at the height of things and wait around. She did bring home a pink Impala. Did I talk about this? She brought home another pink Impala. I love the pink Impala. Pink Impala. But again, we already have an Impala out of pack, so I'm not going to do that now. The Repo. I like the colors on this. Oh, interesting. Repos work on a rotary engine, I believe. Maybe that's the deal. Anyway, the Mazda Repo is a kind of an interesting truck, and this particular one my wife brought home. Again, Annie has been doing she's been killing it. In the main lines. That's why I don't even pay attention to the main lines half the time anymore. Annie's on it. But if you look at this Repo, the way we're going to look at it now, man, did they not get out of the park? Okay, they got the rear lighting together. They got a wash across the front with the lights unwashed, and it's beautiful. That is gorgeous. That is how it's done, Hot Wheels. I mean, seriously, what does it take? Who makes the decision? This is a mystery that I feel like I've got to track down. Like I gotta send an email to Mattel or something like that. I really want to talk to somebody about who makes that decision. I would imagine the person that designed the car, says whether it's going to get that kind of detailing on it. And I bought one of these because I believe I may have a maroon Arkham Asylum. I know I have the green. I know I have the black. I have several different versions of the Arkham Asylum car. Gonna open this one and add it eventually. Again, this is why I need to go through all of my cases, and it's only 5. I think I have 5 of those cases. It's what I'm trying to hold myself to. Again, I was watching Hotline of Diecast yesterday, and he was talking about how you had, it's gotta look. He's like, gotta rein it in, and I agree with him. This is, 2022 is going to be kind of my year of being very selective. That said, I got yet another Batmobile. Okay? Yet another Arkham Asylum Batmobile. You've seen it 100 times. But this sort of, I would call this, as Nas was doing powder coats, I would call this like sort of dragon blood almost. The color. It's sharp. Now that I've got it out of the package, I gotta admit, it's sharp. And let's see. Front and back lighting. Gee whiz, it's just so difficult to get done, isn't it? And let me tell you something. On something like this, it's probably not going through too much of an automation. That's a person applying those decals. That's somebody laying water slides on there. I laid dollars to donuts on it. I don't know it for a fact that it's not automated, but again, this is something that we could dig into if we can find somebody to talk to at Mattel. If you are out there and you know somebody at Mattel, specifically somebody at Hot Wheels or specifically somebody at Matchbox, we have questions. Me and my audience, we all have questions for you, and I'm just would be really interested to know who makes the decisions and why certain cars get finished and others don't. Speaking of certain cars get finished and others don't, this is another one I'm going to add to my collection here. This is the Master Coupe, Chevy Master Coupe. I am unfamiliar with this car. It says General Motors trademarks used, so it's a 1934 Chevy Master Coupe. I was unaware of this before because I'm not a huge car guy. I hung out in high school and stuff with a lot of people who were. There's a cat that I wish I could find right now, actually, who had a ragtop GTO, like a 64 ragtop. Oh my god! I just want to know if he ever got it finished. But let's take a look at this. Oh, I love the story packaging. They use an interesting back slip too in Matchbox that they do not use in Hot Wheels, hardly ever. Sometimes you get a back one. The recent Enterprise had a back piece so that it sat a certain way in the packaging. But I took a look at this in the store, and I fell in love with that front end. So I have lots of these 30s type cars. The 1920s and 30s is an interesting time to me in this country. Not just about the automotives, but culturally, and one of my favorite writers passed away in the late 1920s, and so I always kind of wish that I had been in a situation of earlier life. I know that's weird to say now because it sounds like, being white, it sounds like saying, gee, I wish it were the good old days. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say the good old days, I talk about art. It's about art here. And so, yeah, I think that's kind of what I've got for you here right now, is that I needed to get all these cars out of package. I'll give you a little flyby on them, without my yapping. But But anyway, thank you for coming out here to the Monkey Shine Lab for a little ad day. I appreciate it. And if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. And check out some of the other channels that we're very friendly with, which would be the first one, 17, and Saga over at the Figure Trap, and Zelda Diecast Racing, and Simple Customs by Eddie, and Nostalgic, and Shelby Street Diecast. I'm sitting here with my eyes closed because I'm rolling a credits in front of me to try to get all these names out. Rusty's Garage Australia, and we love you, and especially over to Chris Sheets in the Ghostbusters Quick Response Unit. Please go friend him up on Facebook and check out. He shows up with a 50-pound plasma pack on his back. He's no bullshit Ghostbuster. He is a real deal Ghostbuster. And he has a Scion XB that's all done up as an ectomobile and stuff like that. He shows up at conventions and he walks around with a 50-pound plasma pack on his back. Proton accelerator, whatever it is. His ghost gun. That's dedication. Anyway, we love all of you. Thank you very much for hanging out this long and just kind of seeing stuff roll by the camera for this episode. I appreciate it. And we will be back very soon. Probably, if you hang around, you'll see another episode just pop right up. 200 episodes, folks, and counting. Come on back. We'll be here. Thanks very much.